Hey, what's up, my friend? So, welcome back to today's episode where we'll be discussing on how to trade range like a pro. So, here's the thing, right? I know for me personally, I got started with range trading in my early years of trading because it seems to be one of the easiest trading strategy to trade, right? Just buy the lows of the range, sell at the highs of the range. What could go wrong? And it's only till I traded it and I realized, man, it's not as easy as I think it would be, right? And you would probably encounter the same thing, right? When you trade range, the first question you always ask yourself is, how do I know if the range is going to hold or not, right? Every time you buy the lows of the range, it breaks. Every time you short the highs of the range, it breaks out. Okay, so the first thing, right, to know when you're trading range is this, right? Number one, don't short higher lows into resistance. And likewise, right, you don't want to be buying when you see lower highs into support. Let me explain. So when you notice, right, higher lows into resistance, this is a sign of strength, telling you that the buyers are willing to buy at these higher prices. So that's why you have higher lows into resistance. And more often than not, right, the price is likely to break out higher. So this is where you don't want to be shorting. Also, when you are shorting, right, higher lows into resistance, your profit potential is limited, because if you were to short at resistance, right, at the previous swing low, right, you would expect buying pressure to come in, right? You can imagine, right, if you short resistance, right, before the price get moved down a little bit, right, it will encounter buying pressure near the previous swing low. So there's really not much meat left in that move. Okay, so the first thing to take note is avoid shorting, right, when you notice higher lows into resistance, and avoid buying when you notice lower highs into support. Next one, right? So now you might be thinking, okay, Rayner, so how do I trade the range then? So whenever I trade the range, I like to focus on this one thing. I want to see a nice power move into support or resistance, whether I'm buying or selling. Let's say I'm looking to short. I want to see a nice power move into resistance. A power move is like a big move, right? A strong move, right? Where the market hits resistance very quickly. So you can imagine there's just, 2 or 3 candles, big bullish candles that reach resistance very quickly. So it's very strong momentum. And I like this for 2 reasons. Number one, whenever you see a strong power move into resistance, likelihood, right, is that the market, right, it needs to breathe, right? After moving so fast in a short period of time, moving so much in a short period of time, right, it needs to pause, it needs to breathe, it might do a pullback or even reverse altogether, right? Because it has, moved too fast, too soon. So this is where, you as a trader who are looking to short the highs of the range, this is where you want to come in and take advantage of this phenomenon where the market has moved too fast, too soon. Also, right, whenever the market makes a power move into resistance, right, you have a greater profit potential, right? Because unlike the higher lows into resistance, right, which I've mentioned earlier, whenever the price makes a power move, right, the area, right, where buying pressure would come in is usually at the start of the power move, otherwise known as, like a swing low on the chart where the big move started, right? The original price level where the big move started, this is where buying pressure is likely to come in, right? So after you have moved so fast in a short period of time, right, when the reversal, right, it could be equally swift towards the downside, and that move, right, that profit potential is larger as well for you when you're trading the short side. Okay, and finally, right, when you are trading the range, you want to pay attention to what the big picture is doing, otherwise known as the trend. Okay, so let's say you are trading range on the 2 hours time frame. You want to pay attention to where the daily time frame is, because if you notice the daily time frame is in an uptrend, then you want to be buying the lows of the range on the lower time frame. This again increases the probability, right, of your trade working out. Okay, so with that said, I have come towards the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is below, and I will talk to you soon.